Patriots lose 34-0. There's a reason why I'm wearing this decor today, because Patriots have been outscored 72-3 over the last 2 weeks. Cowboys 38-3, and then this game against the Saints, making the Saints look like one of the best teams in the NFC when they are not that team. What is going on with this Patriots team? We weren't very high on them entering the season, but even with how low we were entering the season, they have found a way to surpass our expectations of disappointment. Between Mac Jones, who has 4 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, taking a step back from even last year when his defensive coordinator was his offensive coordinator, Ramondre Stevenson forgetting that he has legs, just everything around this team, their offensive line taking a step back, just everything about this team just completely disappointing, laying on their backs. Their defense with the loss of Christian Gonzalez and Matt Judon, their defense taking a step back. This Patriots team, who currently hold the 3rd overall pick, are they going to continue to take these losses and take a step backwards? I think at this point, their season's lost. I don't see any way that they can come back or even put up a fight against these teams moving forward. Their schedule doesn't make anything a little bit easier for them either. So this Pats team, we're going to see probably the most pathetic Patriots team we've seen in our lifetime to this point.
Yeah, no. And I looked at this team and I did the math and I'm like, oh, before the season, I was like, this is going to be a bottom 4 team in the AFC. Like, they'll probably be, with Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, they'll definitely be the worst team in their division, even though other Patriots pundits, whether on the radio or just delusional fan pages on Twitter, now X, were saying, yeah, we'll be better even if Aaron Rodgers is on the Jets. Well, now your only win is versus the Jets, and that was in Zach Wilson's second game, who just went down, got abused by the Cowboys in his first game, and then in his second game goes out there versus the Patriots, where he really hasn't had enough reps. Nathaniel Hackett wasn't familiar enough to really know how to utilize him, where it seems like they're taking a step in the right direction where they know what Zach Wilson does well at this point. Whereas now with the Patriots, oof, if you face the Jets this week, you probably would have lost to them, especially in Orchard Park. And then what's wrong with the Patriots? Well, we all knew replacing Jacoby Myers with Juju Smith-Schuster is like that meme of the guy who opens the shirt and he's wearing the shirt that he was just gifted. Like, it's the same exact t-shirt, except Juju Smith-Schuster has knee issues, Jacoby Myers doesn't, and Jacoby Myers is familiar with the system, Juju Smith-Schuster isn't. Jacoby Myers is familiar with Mac Jones, Juju Smith-Schuster isn't. So with all that being said, we're relying on guys like Rayshon Boutte. Kendrick Bourne is now your number 1 receiver at this point. Devontae Parker was a reject from the Miami Dolphins. Literally, I'm like, how do you add the 5th best receiver from your division rival and you think that's a good thing? And then people are like, oh no, I think Devontae Parker's kind of good. Well, he's not. And then you go out there, get Mike Gesicki, get Ezekiel Elliott, who is not going to do anything with this Patriots team because Trent Brown was out of the lineup in this game, so that's another offensive lineman hurt. Matthew Judon and Christian Gonzalez are not there, who are your 2 best players on defense. Christian Gonzalez was the one who's able to slow down Tyreek Hill on Sunday Night Football with the Dolphins, and even Tyreek gave him credit after the game, said he did a pretty good job in coverage guarding him. So it's like, now your defense isn't good enough. And then for Mac Jones to go out there, this is my biggest problem with the teams, is with all of that being said, you have an average quarterback. Mac Jones is never going to be the best at anything. He's never going to be the worst at anything, but now he's trying too hard. He's trying to get them going, and then the press conferences can tell a lot about a quarterback. I just don't like what I see from him when he interacts with the media. They're like, Mac, has Bill Belichick talked about benching you for Bailey Zappi? What do you think's going on with this team? And he's just like, well, I think we have a lot of problems in all 3 phases of the game. Definitely offense, we don't want to score 0 points. I just think we're not ready to get going. And I'm just like very like timid, doesn't have any conviction to what he's saying, and then no real like spunk. He looks defeated in his press conferences, and then for him to say all 3 phases of the game, it's it's like, sure, you can point to the defense, you can point to special teams, maybe having the worst punter and kicker on the same team with Bill Belichick working wonders in free agents. See, but like for Mac Jones to say it's anything other than the offense, like you would be fooling yourself. Defense, what I said earlier in the year, I'm like, with this Patriots defense, they're really good right now. But when the offense continues to struggle, the number one killer for a great defense is a bad offense. And that's what we're seeing right now. Judon is out, Christian Gonzalez is out, but the defense isn't going to get better because the offense is still going to be putting up 10, 15 points, which is what you got in your one win this year. So it's like a bad offense. That's what's going to kill your defense. And Mac Jones isn't the biggest problem, but he is a problem. Your wide receiver core is the problem. Your offensive line has gotten worse. And Ramondre Stevenson seemingly forgetting how to play the running back position at this point. It's like, well, this team needs a complete overhaul. And we said this. We've been saying it for the past few years that Bill Belichick is a great coach, but he shouldn't be the he shouldn't be the GM. It just, at a point, it stops working. And we even saw it with Andy Reid.
Yeah, we saw it with Andy Reid in Philly, and that's why he ended up leaving there and going to Kansas City. For the Patriots, you know your offense is bad when the kicker of the Eagles has outscored you this year.
What?
Jake Elliott has outscored the Patriots this year. Look at the numbers. Jake Elliott has provided 62 points for the Eagles. The Patriots have scored 55 points as a team. Mac Jones, 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions this year. And I don't know about you, but name a team that has won an NFL game winning by scoring 0 points. It is 0 and it doesn't matter. And that's exactly what this Patriots team. Chances are if you score 0 points, you're going to lose just about as many games as possible. So for this team, whether it's Bailey Zappi, whether it's Mac Jones, it doesn't matter. At this point, I feel like their best case scenario is that they just continue to suck. They win maybe one more game this year, and they get the number 1 overall pick, and they get Caleb Williams. That's their best case scenario. But I don't know if Bill Belichick has the pride to do that. I don't think he wants to do that. And right now they have the 3rd overall pick. Do you see them moving up in the draft and trying to get that number 1 quarterback, or, you know, still trying to gut out those wins and still being competitive?
If Bill Belichick's the GM, it doesn't matter because he's not going to go out there get receivers, and no one's going to want to go there and play wide receiver. And, you know, not only does no one want to go there, Bill Belichick can't draft wide receivers. And that's the biggest problem with this team. He's had pretty good success in free agency on defense, and that defense is fine, but it's like until Bill Belichick isn't the GM, it doesn't matter. And I don't know, like maybe he has beef with Mac Jones where it seemed like he really didn't like some of the things that Mac Jones was doing, going to seek outside help. Well, it is an ego thing with Bill Belichick. If he has a grudge against you, it's not really going to go away. So is this season just a grudge of Bill Belichick doesn't want Mac Jones, so he's sucking on purpose? Maybe. But that's pretty bad if your head coach is just throwing a season away where you have a good defense, and if you put 2 really good receivers around Mac Jones and bolster up your offensive line, you have a shot at making the playoffs. It's like, I don't know. It's like until he's not the GM, it's not going to matter because he doesn't know how to draft anymore.